Hey GMS Band students, it's Mr. Peacock. I'm back this time for the Band Handbook and Expectations video. Like I mentioned in the Meet the Teacher video, this would take a little bit longer than normal, so we put all the expectations and other band, very specific information that takes a little bit longer to explain in a separate video. Now, this video is for parents and students of band members. We usually spend about the first 45 minutes of class the very first day going over this, but now since the schedule is like it is, you will be able to watch this video the first week and a half of school. And with that, there will be several things that you need to take care of while watching this video. One, all this information will be on your Canvas page. You need to watch the video. You'll need to take the short handbook quiz at the end of this. It's an assignment in Canvas, and it is very common sense, but it's to make sure the students that you understand and parents understand some of the basic expectations for the school year. There's also this is for the parents, a band handbook signature form. It basically says that you agree to the things that were outlined in the handbook and the video, and you fill out the form and submit that, and it's no problem. It also has some other information there about t-shirt size and stuff like that we need from you for the students. After that, there's also a Charms sign-up video or a Charms information video. Charms, for you new band students, is our database system. It's how we keep track of students as far as emails, information, music, uniforms, inventory. It also allows us to contact parents. It has a place to sign up for volunteering for things that we have going on. So it's very important that all of your information is up to date and current in Charms. And if you need information on how to do that, watch the video. Then lastly, there'll be a link. I'll put it on the screen at the end. It'll also be on the Canvas page, is our Remind 101 signups. We communicate with parents and students in 3 ways. 1, we give a handout. 2, we send an email through Charms. And 3, we send out a Remind 101 with usually a link to the handout. So it's important that you sign up that you get all 3 of those pieces of information, so you know what is going on with the band program, because we all know how students like to get things the very first time they get them to their parents. So make sure you take care of those, let's say by September 14th, the very first day back. So it'd be nice if all the stuff was turned in without the next week and a half. All right, some basic information about the band program. I am considered the middle school band coordinator. I'm in charge of all things with the middle school band. I'm here full-time at GMS. Also here full-time is Miss Swindle. She teaches some of the beginner woodwind classes as well as the gold band and the middle school color guard. And our contact information is on the screen. The other directors with the Germantown Band Program are primarily based at the high school. That's Mr. Harvison. Mr. Harvison is the director of bands. He's in charge of the entire band program, 6th through 12th grade. He teaches the beginner trombone class as well as taking care of all the high school classes up at Germantown High School. Then we also have Miss Taylor. Miss Taylor teaches the concert band and helps direct the high school color guard, and she has several teaching assignments here at Germantown Middle School, primarily the beginner flutes and one of the beginner clarinet classes. And then we have Mr. Kraft. Mr. Kraft is the percussion director, so he's in charge of all percussion students, teaches them every day, 6th through 12th grade. And their information can be found on the screen right now. So if you need to write their email down, that's how you contact them. But if you have any basic middle school band questions, you can reach out to me. Now, our conference period, we only have one conference period this year, and that is 8th block. That's the last block on B days. That's for me and Miss Swindle. So we are available on 8th block. That's around 2 p.m. to 3:15 p.m. on B days. Okay, that's the best time for us to have a conference with you. That's when we will answer emails, return phone calls, and so forth. So usually after that, we're busy teaching all the other classes this year. So just expect anything from us during that time. As far as conduct expectations with the band, we expect the students to follow all the Madison County conduct expectations and PBIS expectations we have at Germantown Middle School. There are a few additions that we have to the band hall that are specific to us. First of all, I tell the students every year that the band hall is the most expensive room in the school. With all of our inventory, all of our instruments, music stands, chairs, and electronic equipment, we are a very expensive room to be in. So we ask the students remember that and take care of the things we have at the GMS Band Hall. That involves not defacing the music stands. So the music stands are there to hold music. They're not there to hold a body. So you cannot lean on the music stands. You simply place your music and your band book on the music stand. We ask that you not write on them or stick gum on them. So please take care of all of our equipment. Speaking of gum, gum is not allowed in the band hall. If you are chewing it in the hallway, we ask you to spit it out as you walk in. Food and drinks are usually not allowed just because we have carpet in the band hall, and if it gets spilled, it tends to attract ants or mice. So the only class periods where water and food, snacks are allowed in the band hall are second and sixth block. Second and sixth block, they're special because they begin the class time with what we call wartime, or we all read. So for the first 10-15 minutes of class, the students are allowed to have a small snack with water, no soft drinks or sports drinks, and they can eat while they read their book or magazine before class starts. And that's something that the whole school does. So it's very important that on second and sixth block, if you're not in band class those days, that you participate in those activities by bringing your book or magazine to read as well. We also ask, because we do have a lot of expensive equipment, that the students only handle the equipment they're assigned to. It's very not convincing, but it's very easy to want to try other instruments as you see your friends playing them. And we ask that, especially with coronavirus and COVID-19, that you only play the instruments you're assigned to. And so if you wish to try another instrument, you're just not going to have to do that at school. Do it some other time. The other common thing is when the percussion start bringing their various instruments out, it's very easy to want to just play on those and think, oh, I'm just going to hit the drums. No, those are off limits to everybody except for the percussion students. So only play and handle the instruments that you're assigned to. Now we will have, throughout the year, we will have various rehearsals and zero blocks going on. It's okay if you see that happening if you're coming into the band hall to get your equipment and you see, for example, the advanced band having an after school rehearsal, just come get your equipment and then leave. Do not disturb any rehearsals or sectionals or zero blocks that are happening that are in progress. The dry erase boards, we have a very open room, and so the dry erase boards are very inviting for students to mark on. We ask that unless you are given instructions by a director to write on the boards, that you do not, because what happens a lot of times is the tips of the markers get pushed in and we wind up having tops missing and markers dry out. So you are only allowed to use the dry erase boards if you're given permission. Now, moving on. Financial obligations for the band. The main one is the band fee. Every year we have a mandatory band fee of $50, and that helps us take care of things like band books for everybody, binders, pencil pouches, dividers, t-shirts, things of that nature. We roll all the expenses for the band into a band fee that take care of the basic operating procedures. Okay, it's $50, and there are 3 ways to pay. One is cash. If you pay in cash, that's fine. You'll get a receipt from your cash payment, but we ask that you turn in the form that was sent home the first day of class, or you can download the form from the website, print that out, and return it with your child's cash. I ask you also put that in an envelope sealed with your child's name on it. That way we know who it belongs to and who to give credit to. That way I'm not giving just $50 cash, say, here's my band fee. So we want to know who it belongs to. The second way is a money order or cashier's check. Again, if you return that, a money order or cashier's check, please send that in an envelope marked with your child's name. We do not accept personal checks. That is a band booster expectation. We do not accept those. Cash, money order, cashier's check. The last way is credit card payments for the band fees, and we do that through Charms. I'll explain the process in the Charms video, but that you can pay through the website to pay your child's band fee. You can also take care of other things like band trips and other items that we might have for sale on Charms. Now, fundraisers, we have about 3 fundraisers per year. The first one is our biggest one, where we raise at least over $12,000 every year, and that is through non-perishable items like housewares, wrapping paper, magazines, things of that nature. And that will begin September 21st and 22nd. We will send home information to you. Now, usually in the past, this is where, you go out and sell, you collect money, and you bring it back in. This year it's different. We will not want you to bring in cash and checks from various people to us, so we ask that you pay online. And all of that information will be sent home the 21st and 22nd on how to take care of that. Now, more details as far as delivery, shipping, all that will be covered when I send home the information on those 2 days. Another fundraiser we do is, the second fundraiser we do is called a coupon book fundraiser. It's Save Around Jackson's coupons from all over the Jackson area. It's real popular, and especially with 7th and 8th graders, that the parents buy the books. And for the family members, you can use it for Jackson. There's also other areas around the country where you can get the coupon books too if you have family members out of state. And the last one is our Chili Fest. Chili Fest is a huge deal. The high school band plays for the Chili Fest. It's a chili cook-off. The jazz band plays. It's a chili cook-off competition. There's a silent auction. It's a big deal for the whole band program, 6th through 12th grade, and that is usually in February. More details will happen after the first of the year. Now, we've gone over care of the facilities. Now, on to attendance. Attendance at band events is required. Okay, the things we have attendance tracked for are rehearsals, zero blocks, and concerts. So, sixth grade, you have, under normal circumstances, 2 concerts per year, one in December, one in May. We're still waiting to see what that's going to look like, but that's with your 2 events, 2 concerts. Your attendance is required. Outside of those 2 concerts are 2 rehearsals, one in December, one in May. So those are the 4 things where your attendance is required outside of the school year. And as soon as we get a final or an approval on how this is going to work, I will let you know. Before we left for the summer, the Christmas concert was scheduled for December the 8th. That's Tuesday, December 8th. We don't know how it's going to look yet. We don't know if we'll be allowed to have a concert inside the gym or it will be a virtual live feed. I'm not sure yet, but plan on something for the Christmas concert happening around December the 8th. If it changes, I will let you know, I promise. For the spring concert, we don't know yet. It'll usually be in May sometime, and that concert will most likely happen at either Ridgeland High School or Madison Central High School. It could happen in the gym, but we're going to wait and see. And as soon as we know more information, I will send that home. For the advanced band students and gold band and red band students, your concerts will be at the same time. As soon as we know more, we'll let you know more. You will have a festival to attend in March at Ridgeland. The advanced band, you will have state competition at the MHSAA, usually held in Pearl, sometime in either late March or early April. And then we have our trips. Now, trips I'm going to go over in a separate video because it takes a little more to explain. So just realize that 7th and 8th grade, we do have trips planned this year, and more information will be in those videos. Now, daily supplies. Band class, you have to have your supplies with you in order to receive credit for being in class. The main one being your instrument. It is very easy, especially 6th graders, to forget your instrument. Make sure you bring your instrument every time you have class. In addition to your instrument, you also need to bring your band binder when you receive it, okay, and your band book when you also receive that. It's very critical that you have all those 3 things in class in order to improve and proceed learning and being awesome on your band instrument. You have to have those 3 things. They are also graded. So if you forget your supplies, you can't participate, so you lose participation points, okay, the supplies. Now, the older kids know this, and for example, make sure clarinets, saxophones, and oboes and bassoons, you have your reeds. You have your neck strap saxophones. Brass players have your valve bowl. Have your slide grease. Trombone players, take care of your instruments. We do have some items for sale, but not everything. So make sure you have your supplies to take care of your equipment in class. Now, grading guidelines, like I was mentioning, those materials that you need to have are part of your participation grade. And your participation grade makes up 40% of your average, okay? As well as other items that we'll have on Canvas, like quizzes and rhythm tests and things like that will be on Canvas. That makes up 40% of your grade. The other 60% is done through major tests, both submitted through Canvas or live or performances. The extension of class things like after-school rehearsals, concerts, and festivals are considered major grades and count for 60%. So those 2 things responsibility type grades and performance grades make up your grade in band. Some other things that students receive grades on will be before and after school rehearsals, being on task and prepared in class, improving. You will get grades for advancement for things, especially for sixth graders. Sixth graders, we have pass-off system. So the pass-off system will cover primarily rhythms and what you'll learn as scales. And these items are grades throughout the year, but they're also a way to see your improvement as you move forward. Now, moving on in the handbook, district-owned instruments, school-owned instruments. This applies to oboes, bassoons, French horns, baritones, tubas, and to some degree percussion. Okay, so those instruments are, except for percussion, are supplied by the school. You pay nothing for them, but we do ask that you take extra care of them and consider taking private lessons. Okay, we have a great private lesson program. We'll go over that more in detail later. But district-owned instruments, you pay nothing 6th through 12th grade. Take great care of them because most of those instruments cost more than $2,500. That's why they're school-owned. Okay, you are not to let anybody else touch those instruments or play them or carry them. They're your responsibility. Let's see. Moving on. Instrument storage. Okay, everybody will have a room or a shelf to put their instrument. We ask that you put your instrument up after each rehearsal. We don't want to have cases laying out, but it becomes a hazard when we have a number of people walking through the band hall. We have over 300 students in the band, and if we don't take care of our stuff and put it back where it belongs, it becomes a hazard for walking and running. If there was a fire or tornado drill, someone could get hurt if our cases are left out. In addition to that, we ask that your cases are labeled clearly with your name. A lot of the instrument cases will look similar, so it's not a common thing, but it does happen throughout the year where someone accidentally grabs the wrong instrument, and then someone comes up to get their instrument and it's gone, and they think it's stolen when it was just picked up by mistake. So we ask that parents that you make sure your child's instrument, including school-owned instruments, are labeled clearly so the students know which one is theirs when they pick it up at the end of the school day. Okay. Now, just to let you know, too, to prevent theft of that kind of nature, the band halls are locked. We have several doors that we can lock, outside, inside, and practice rooms and offices that are locked. So we do not have any problem with theft of the band instruments because we make sure it is secure before we leave. Now, private lessons. Private lessons are awesome, and we have an amazing private lesson staff. A lot of our teachers are with the Mississippi Symphony Orchestra, and we are fortunate enough that they come on campus. Sometimes you can have your lesson happen during class. Okay, now lessons are not the same as tutoring. We think of tutoring as, well, I'm not very good at this, I need tutoring. That's true, you could take lessons if you need improvement, but we also encourage the use of private lessons for enrichment. So if you want to get really awesome at your instrument, private lessons are the way to go. If you are interested in private lessons, please let us know, and we will make sure you get hooked up with the private lesson teacher for your specific instrument. Moving on. Uniform. At concerts and performances, we have guidelines for your uniform, for how you look. Now, for 6th grade, I'm going to go over all the bands real quick. For 6th grade, this is important because it's your first concerts, and it tends to be the one we had the biggest learning curve. The rules are dress nicely. Okay, now that's a broad statement for uniforms. I'm going to put some pictures on the screen of what some questions we have. For a uniform, we prefer to see things like, for guys. Girls, this is usually never an issue. Girls, y'all know how to dress. Ladies, you know how to dress nicely. We've never had any problems with the girls. Usually, the only problem we had was they thought overalls were okay. Overalls are not okay. But for boys, slacks or dress pants, polo shirts or button-down shirts, dress shoes. Okay, some things we've seen that are not acceptable are no t-shirts, no tennis or athletic shoes, no jeans, no shorts, again, no overalls, right? So I'll put those pictures on the screen of what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. If you have questions, please reach out to us so we can help you decide what would look the best for the concert. Now, for 7th and 8th graders, in the gold and red bands, your concert attire is black and white. And I'll put the pictures on the screen of what you are to wear. Okay? White shirt, button down preferably, black pants with a black belt, black shoes. Ladies, we ask that you wear flats and not heels. Gentlemen, they must be black dress shoes, not black athletic shoes. Okay? Now, the advanced band has a little bit different. We'll go over your instrument detail, your uniform details later. You boys, you will have a vest and tie, and ladies, you have a blouse that we have to fit you for. So we'll go over that later in class. Next, concert performances. We've mentioned that already. Attendance is required. The concerts are either held at GMS in the gym, or they're held at Ridgeland High School Auditorium or Madison Central Auditorium. Along with that, concert behavior expectations. Sometimes we sit in the audience and watch the other bands perform. Your expectations for school carry through to concerts. Even though that we are outside of the school day, we expect you to behave. And when another band or group is performing, you sit quietly and you watch and you listen and you enjoy their performance. At the conclusion of somebody's performance, you clap appropriately. There's no screaming, yelling, whistling. You simply clap to acknowledge their performance. We will give more instructions later about how concerts work. There's ways we walk in and walk out. That's too much for this video. We have to demonstrate that in class. Okay? Now, again, like I mentioned earlier, concerts, as soon as we know more about dates, I will let you know. Okay? We do travel with the bands a good bit. 6th grade, we try to take a trip in the spring. It's local. We go to Party Safari. The bands, we take several trips to football games or to away trips like to Atlanta or San Antonio. We also travel locally to Pearl or Ridgeland for various events. We do expect all Madison County guidelines to be in effect. So you know how you're supposed to ride on a bus? That's what we expect you to do when you travel with us. Okay? When you travel, remember, when you travel with the band, you are representing the band program. You're representing Germantown Middle School, and we ask you to be on your best behavior. If there's a question in your mind whether you should do something or not, don't. Remember, when you represent the band on an away trip, you are representing the band. You are a walking billboard for us. Okay, so remember to be on your best behavior when we go somewhere. Let's see, and with travel, we always appreciate chaperones. You help us out tremendously by being an extra pair of eyes and ears on a trip. When we have events that require travel, there will be a place in Charms under volunteer to sign up to be a chaperone. Okay, so when we get that information, we will send that out to you and where to sign up. Moving on, we're almost there. Band hall hours. The band hall used to be open all the time, basically, and anybody could come in, and this is like a safe haven for them throughout the school day. Not so much anymore. The band hall will open at 7 or around 7:15 for students that have 0 block. Those students that have 0 block this year, as of right now, are only the advanced band members. Okay, more details coming with you guys later, but only advanced band will be required to be in for 0 block. At 7:30, the car rider line starts dropping off, and the only students besides 0 block members will be 1st block or 5th block members. If you are not in 1st block or 5th block band, or having a 0 block, you cannot be in the band hall that morning. You must go to your 1st or 5th block class. Okay, that's just one new change this year. And if that restriction is lifted, we will let you know, because I like having you in here. This is a safe place for you to be and practice or hang out with your friends before school. But as of right now, that's going to be the rules. We stay open usually until about 3:45. We have other commitments we have at the high school or teaching lessons or whatnot. So the band hall closes at 3:45 every day. If we happen to have after-school rehearsals, that is an exception. Advanced band usually has after-school rehearsals in the spring in preparation for MHSAA state evaluation. 6th grade band will have after-school rehearsals as well. Any other time besides that, the middle school band hall is considered closed at 3:45. When parents drop off kids for events, for rehearsals or zero block, there's the side doors by the bus drop off that you can use, that we ask that you drop off and you follow the traffic pattern around the loop, okay, to exit. A lot of times parents get in trouble because they will drop off by the double doors and then they'll do a U-turn right there to try to leave quickly. Well, that tends to almost cause accidents, okay, because it's not following the traffic flow. So if you drop your student off for zero block or for a rehearsal on the side doors, we ask that you follow the traffic pattern around, okay, just to make things safer for us here at Germantown Middle School. I went over charms and volunteers. The last thing I have is supplies. There might be some questions about what you need for supplies in band class. I'm going to post those on the screen. The main thing is to take care of the big chunk of your supplies, or the daily items are taken care of through your band fee, the $50 fee we talked about earlier. With 7th and 8th graders, with the advanced band, we require you have a lyre, L-Y-R-E, not liar, okay, L-Y-R-E. And that is specific to your instrument. You can pick those up from Mississippi Music, okay? So I would take your instrument or tell them what you play and go pick up a lyre. You'll need those for the football games. And the flip folders, I supply those because I put the music that you need in the flip folders, okay? So you just need to make sure you get a lyre for your instrument. Metronomes and tuners, those are great to have at home. You can have an app on your smartphone that work great, but we do have a classroom set for what we use here in the band hall. I recommend that you get a wire stand at home. This is for 6th through 8th grade. Having a wire stand allows you to use the correct posture when you sit and practice, not slumped over your bed looking at your case on the floor trying to read your band music, okay? And then for the other instruments, I'm going to post that on the screen of some items that you need for band class. If there are any questions, please reach out to me. Some of these items we do have for sale in the band hall. All right, last thing. Make sure that you sign up, take the quiz on Canvas for the handbook quiz, and then parents, make sure you fill out the handbook signature page, and that will take care of the handbook. Thank you. This was much quicker than we do in class. So, signature page, quiz, and then the next thing is the charms video. The charms video goes over all the basics. If 7th and 8th grade parents, you may not need that, but double check it. Make sure you pay your band fee on charms. And then lastly, the Remind 101, sign up for your child's class. That is it. If there are any questions, my email is jpeacock@madison-schools.com. I look forward to having a great school year and can't wait to get started. See y'all soon.